My musical journey started already around the age of 7, I think, because my parents used to listen to a lot of trance. And I don't know why, but it made me really relaxed as a child. And then I sort of, not forgot about it, but like I didn't do anything with it anymore until the age of like 15. Then I started producing. I still lived in a village, so it wasn't like really, it was pretty rare actually that I produced there. Then I moved to Amsterdam and I met my ex-boyfriend and we started playing together, so DJing. So our first date was that I learned him how to produce and he taught me how to play. And then we started playing together for about a year. And then I said, okay, actually everything, all the music I produce, we cannot play that because we have like a bit like not the similar taste. So I started playing solo, and that's actually the moment I started to dig into the 90s sound, you know, because I didn't really do that before. And I sort of relived the whole 90s trance period, 90s music in general, 90s techno, and yeah, it was really because like I wasn't there. So I'm pretty young still, so I wasn't like raving in the 90s. Well, it was actually, of course, already like 30 years old back then. Like, but I really felt like something new for me, like something I've never heard before in my life. And it was crazy, it was like super emotional, but also pretty hard. Everything at the same time, you know. And that's why when I started like playing a lot as well, and I was sort of wondering like, why am I not hearing this in the clubs, you know, because the 90s sound wasn't really, it was about like 7 years ago, the 90s sound wasn't really played that often in clubs back then. And so I started playing it like, okay, people need to hear this. And already after like a few practicing sessions somewhere, I had my first gig, and then my second or third gig was a 90s rave all-nighter already. Because people were like the organizers from Spielraum, which is a queer party I'm resident at now. They heard me play and they said, how would you feel like playing like a 90s rave all-nighter, 6 hours? And I was like, okay, sick, I'm going to do that. When I just started playing, I already wanted a label. I don't know why, I didn't even dig into like labels that much. Yeah, so there was this really big love for 90s sound, and I didn't hear it, you know, so I was like, why is nobody doing anything with it? So that's actually why I started a label. I thought, okay, how cool is it to re-release or make new tracks with like 90s artists and do like projects together with contemporary artists and see what happens there, you know. That's the reason I started it, to sort of merge like the sound today and the sounds from the 90s. Producing music is really a way for me to explain myself. Like playing is a bit different because that's just, for me that's so much fun, but it's like searching for the words, but you cannot always find it because it's like, you try to find it through other people's music. And producing is like, really if I feel something and I come back from like a weekend of touring or just, I don't know, it's just like there's so much in me, you know? Then I just go to the studio and then I just start making music, and it's really like, you know, everything just out of my system. And that's also, there are most of the times the moments when I start making a track. So I have a lot of those moments that I just start just making everything I feel. The most tracks I've produced are on tour because I get really relaxed in the plane, first of all. Like, of course, sometimes you're a bit afraid of flying, but you don't have like any distraction, nothing else you can do. There's no internet. Well, sometimes there's internet, but most of the times it's not. And you know that you also get a bit more sensitive in the plane. Like that's also why people start crying during films and everything. That's really because of the pressure or something. And I don't know why, but that's a really good way for me to just like start a track, you know? It's just like totally isolated, nothing else you can do, nowhere you can go. So we're in my home studio and I'm gonna show you around a little bit. So what you see here is actually how I sort of do the live show, and I use like this part. So you have like Ableton, MIDI keyboards, the audio interface, which is over there, which you cannot see probably. So then we will sync it to the TR8, then to the TD3, and then to the MC909, which is a pretty long chain for like syncing, but went well so far, so that's great. And then we have a mixer with all the channels, so the 909 is in here. Like it's still the sticker of the live show, so it was the other way around, but it still makes sense sort of. So we have the 909, the 303, which is not the real 303 of course, the drum computer, and then I also have like a reverb and a delay, which are obviously not plugged in right now, but they can also be on 2 separate channels. So I am preparing for a new live show at the moment, and which will not be like, will not be like this complex actually. Well, it's not even complex, but it's not really practical because, so I will definitely bring this one. I will bring the TR8, a mixer obviously, and a sound, audio interface. But this one I will keep at home because it's just super heavy and it's really nice for jamming, which I also do during a live show, but it's just a bit impractical and you can record everything, all the like separate layers in Ableton beforehand. So doesn't really make sense to take it anywhere. It's too big of a risk. And I really want to try doing something with the mic because you can do really nice things with your voice. I have to dig into that a bit more, but like, is it working? Hello? Oh no, it's not working. Never mind. Yeah, so my favorite device here in the studio is definitely the MC909 because it's just so nice to like jam with it, and you can just do everything, and you can like also have a kick in here, bass line. So every time I'm a bit stuck in Ableton, you know, because that's happening pretty often actually, because you look like too much to a screen and it's like way too intense. Then I just like start jamming on the MC909 just like this, and you have some heads sometimes, you know. And then you can just like record like a track in one take. And then you have like the arrangement, you know, you have the structure, and it's way more organic instead of like thinking over and over again in Ableton. So it's sort of a live approach, and then afterwards you just combine it with the track you're making and just copy the arrangement or like adjust it a little bit or just edit it, and yeah, it makes it really practical actually. The synths you can see here, like I didn't try these two, they're actually from a friend, still on my to-do list to try. This is the Korg Wave Station. It's you also have the M1 from Korg. A lot of really nice like old school sound in there, and pretty comparable to the M1 actually. My workflow in Ableton, I actually always start working not from the live view but from the arrangement view, because it's just like I start with one layer, then I start with another one. It's like on top, on top, on top. Or you can just, of course, start with a kick and a bass line, and then you just add everything afterwards. I really want to try to find a way, like this Ableton Push is laying here, like looking at me, like try me. I really, really want to learn that actually. I really want to dig into it, like how to use it practical. But now I just start working in the arrangement view and just like, overthink everything actually.